Breeze is our regular magazine right here in the village, and a lot of folks really love it. And we have a new edition coming up. We don't have a copy of it yet, but Susan Logan McCracken's here with a preview of the next edition of Village Breeze. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you, Mike, for having us.
I
have a printout of the cover.
Yes,
right
we have.
here.
I think we have that on video. We have that on a slide, so we'll take a look at that. It's we got a good little shot there of a rabbit kind of eating the vegetation. Now, folks aren't fans of rabbits around here. Some eating the flowers and that kind of thing, but sometimes. But I love them.
But
and
this is cute.
And there's a lot of babies out right now. Have you seen all the baby bunnies?
Well, Mark Rabinowitz captured this one eating a leaf.
Mark Rabinowitz is prolific.
Yes, he is. He is.
He captured so many great shots. That's a great spring photo for the cover there too.
Yes, yes, we're excited about it.
So we're also excited about the pages inside, not just the cover, of course, but some of the features you guys have going on. One of the ones I know we want to talk about is the voices story you guys have. The 100 voices as one kind of thing.
Right. Community Bridge Builders had this One Voice 300 or One Song 300 Voices event, and Village Television was very much a part of capturing that.
Right.
And we mentioned the video that was produced, and we have a link to it in the story. I was able to talk to Urban Voices Project, Liav Sofer, about some of the short-term benefits and long-term benefits of singing in a group. There's actually a study out that examines group singing versus solo singing, and group singing produces oxytocin, which is the bonding hormone.
Really?
And solo singing produces cortisol, which is the stress hormone. So, so it's interesting that they compared the two. Group singing, you get all the health benefits of singing, as well as the bonding without the anxiety of having to sing a solo.
Well, I would imagine that makes sense to me, because I would be horrified if I was on a stage with a microphone and a spotlight just on me, but if I was in a group, I would feel like, okay, we're all together in this, we've been practicing, and we're all one.
Right, right. And it was a phenomenal experience for the people who participated. The overwhelming thought that I received from them was that they would like to do this again. And Rebecca Gallad did tell me that they will do this again in March 2025. So March of next year, they will also be doing this. And
sounds fun.
They're hoping to bring more than 300 voices together.
Okay, well, make it even bigger. 500, sky's the limit.
Yes, yes.
So people can see the link, and they read the article, and they also have the link to the YouTube video, right?
Yes, and become inspired. And seeing it, the chorus was also sung in 5 different languages. So maybe we can have even more languages
that would be amazing.
Next year.
You also spotlight in this latest edition of Village Breeze the power of recreation. You're calling this one. Yes.
Well, the word recreation means renewal. And so after working or doing chores or doing the day-to-day tasks, it's just wonderful to have something that you truly enjoy, whether it's a sport, whether it's music, whether it's going to the Performing Arts Center, whether it's playing a game of bridge. And our recreation leaders, we spotlight 3 of them. It's 141 employees in that department.
Yeah, it's a really large department because of so many activities here in the community.
Yes, it is a really large department, and I have to say that they are so passionate about recreation and what it does for the residents, but also even in their own lives and their own children's lives, that they are going to the soccer games and they are involved. And Tom McRae is a PGA golfer himself, so it's pretty impressive to see.
Folks can take a look at the folks who are doing all the good recreation and keeping us going here in the village, right?
Yes, exactly.
Securing your digital assets, Debbie Dotson wrote an article about that, and that's one of those things where you hear so many things about senior scams and things that can go wrong, and people not having all the information where they should be, and those kinds of things.
Right, and Debbie talks about having somebody like an executor after life to kind of handle this. And we might not realize all the digital assets that we have, all the
Right.
photos, all the videos, any creative works, intellectual property, and airline miles and online subscriptions to things. So there are a lot of digital.
Yeah. And people, and you know, I've known people who have passed, and they say, well, we didn't know their passwords to anything, so we couldn't get to any of their stuff, and then you have to go through all these companies, all these kinds of things. So I imagine that having that in one place, and someone being overseeing that, saying, here's where everything is, here's how you get to all of these things, is an important.
Exactly. And Debbie outlines a step-by-step process to do, to take, to secure that, those cherished memories, so that you can leave a legacy.
That's terrific. One of the other things you guys are talking about a little bit is just the one thing, especially this time of year with the coyotes and the rabbits that are out, and they're in the community at all times. So what are we looking at for this article?
Well, this article talks about keeping yourself and your pets and your neighborhood safe. It's a very comprehensive article. It goes through some of the myths and some of the truth about coyotes, and this is their habitat, and it's shrinking for them. So they are going to be here. We can't get rid of the coyotes, but because if that happened, there would be an explosion of other.
There has to be a balance of all the little critters that they eat,
Exactly,
the rabbits especially.
Exactly. But the article talks about keeping your neighborhood safe as well. Never turn your back on a coyote, maintain eye contact with them, and definitely pick up your pets if you see a coyote, but keep your pets indoors as well, and your dogs on a leash.
Right. Make sure those are secure. Don't let the cats outside, because sometimes they don't come back.
Never leave cats
Yeah.
outside, or your pets in general.
Right. Any
outside.
smaller animals are just they'll can get snatched right up. What are some of the other articles that you kind of like are looking forward to putting out there and having folks see?
Another one that Debbie Dotson contributed was going solo on solo travel, senior solo travel, and that
She's prolific traveler. It's amazing, her show and everything like that.
yes, and she captured this trend that people have, just taking solo tours. There are actually tour groups that cater to solo travelers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alone together kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. So you can be together on different excursions and tours, but you can also have some solitude when you want it, when you need it.
And I think there's a stigma sometimes that going to the movies alone or going to dinner, even going to dinner alone, things like that. It's like, oh, you don't have anybody to travel with. And those are some of the realities for older adults when they've lost a loved one, their spouse or something like that. And that's just, it shouldn't mean you don't go anywhere, don't do anything anymore.
Right. And she definitely gives tips on how to embrace it, how to embrace the adventure, embrace the fun, and but starting small. And doing your research.
Okay. How can people get a copy of Village Breeze when it comes out? Where can we find it?
Well, it is delivered through U.S. Postal Service.
Right, everybody's homes.
Yes, everybody's homes, but we have extra copies in the community center, in all of the clubhouses, in the golf pro shop, the tennis clubhouse, the village library, just all the places where we can get together as a community.
All right, the Village Breeze coming out soon. Do we have a date? Do we know when it's hitting the mailboxes?
In 2 days.
Okay, it's coming.
Yes.
It's getting here. It's this week. Look out for it this week, folks.
This week.
All right, Susan Logan McCracken, thank you so much for coming in. Give us a good preview of the next edition of the Village Breeze.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
All right, great. And when we come back, we're going to be talking to folks from the Democratic Club. Stay with us.